Hey y'all, welcome to the Filling Station. It's a new day, another opportunity to either make money in this market or to just learn from the market. But first, y'all, let me give my disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor. I just enjoy teaching people how to build generational wealth. And yes, the stock market is just one of those avenues. So this video is for educational purposes only. But if you could please like, share, comment, subscribe, because we learn and we grow together. With that being said, let's get started. So we are looking at Tesla. As you can see, we closed at 340.47. We've had a pre-market high thus far of 344.70. Looks like we got rejected at this ATR trail and stop and a level that I have marked here. I like to see that 344.80 is a trouble place for us. So where are the trouble places? Back to the upside, we will need to break that level. If we should break that, we could possibly have trouble again. 345.59, 346.40, 346.84, 347.27, breaking at 347.27. We could have trouble again around the 347.78, and should we break that, 348.75, breaking that 348.75 area, we could possibly have trouble 349.37, 350.02, 350.61, 351.31. Those could be rejection areas for Tesla. Now back to the downside. Let's say we break under this level here of 342.76, we could very well come back to around 342.15, breaking that 341.60. Should we break that, 341.18, and that breaking that level 340.85. Should we break the 340.85, we could possibly have trouble again, 340.42, and if we should lose that area, there's an area right not far away, 340.12, breaking that 339.19, and if we should break that, 338.83, breaking that level, 338.36 could be a support area for us. Now should we break that level, the next level I have here is where the 200 EMA is, and a line that we have marked 337.33. 337.30 could be a support area for us. Again, on this 30-minute chart, that is our 200 EMA. Should we lose that level or break through that level, 336.16 could be our next support area for Tesla. Now, Tesla is an inside day candle, and what I like to say, if it should break a certain area, then the possible target is, that's what I like to say with Tesla. So through our inside day, if by chance we break above 356.27, the upside target for Tesla today is 357.54. Now let's get back to that downside. If by chance we break under this level of 340.42, we could very well come back to the target, which is around 327.44. So if you're trading Tesla today, those are possible areas of rejection and your support areas. Again, not financial advice, y'all. I say so often in this market, anything is possible, nothing is guaranteed, right? So we are now looking at the SPY, and I do apologize, y'all. My SPY and Tesla charts are very congested because, again, when I'm in the trade, I want to know where my possible trouble places are. So the SPY closed at 606.78. As you can see, we've been trading kind of like in this little zone here. So support was around the 607, resistance was around the 607.27. We traded in that area. Now it is now what was resistance is now our support here in this situation. So moving to the upside, trouble places as of now, breaking beyond 608.11, we could possibly have trouble again at 608.45. Should we break that level, 608.87. Now breaking the 608.87, I have 609.54, but keep in mind anything can stop us out from that 608.87 to the 609.54. So be mindful of that if that's something that you trade today. Breaking that level, 609.96 could be a rejection area for us. Now the 609.96, the next level I have marked is 611.15. We could very well get stopped out anywhere in between this area. So that, if you're trading the spot today, I say trade carefully. Now breaking the 611.15, the next level, 612.18, anything can stop us out in between this area. So if that is something that you trade, I say trade carefully, right? So beyond the 612.18, we have next level 612.74. So if you're trading the spot today, those are possible areas of rejection to the upside or resistance areas. Now back to the downside. Let's say we lose this area of support at the 607.91, the next level 607.52, then 607.27. Should we break that level 607 here, breaking that 607, we could very well come back to 606.80. And if we lose that area, 606.54 could be a support area for us. We see that we were here. Now losing that area, we could come back to 606.20. And as you can see, that is where our 50 EMA is as of now, and a line that we have marked. Y'all, it is so important that we mark our support and our resistance. Losing that area 606.01 could be a support area. Should we lose that, we can come back to around the 605.54 and 605.37, not very far away. So losing that 605.37, we could very well come back to 604.94, 604.65, 604.32. Now there's a few layers of support from there. 604.13. From there, we could go back to around the 603.93. Either way, there's a lot of support places for the SPY. From the 604.32, I would say down to the 603.82 and breaking that 603.57. So if the SPY is something that you trade today, I say trade carefully, y'all. I say it so often that in this market, anything is possible, right? So we are now looking at AMD. It has been trading sideways, as we see here. Support was around the 139.91, resistance around the 139.97. Now we broke through that, but you see the body of the candles coming back to this area, to this zone here. So where are the trouble places for AMD as of right now? Breaking the 139.97, we could possibly have trouble 140.52, 141.03, breaking that 141.03 area. We could possibly have trouble again around 141.80, 142.23, 143.03. And if we break that 143.03, as you can see, there's a few layers of resistance here. 143.44, 144, and again at 144.60, breaking that 145.51. If we break that 145.51, 146.21, 147.14, those are possible resistance areas for AMD as of right now. Back to the downside under this level here of 139.54, 139.11 could be a support area for us, which is here. Now, if we break that, we can very well come back to 138.60. Again, here at 138.14, which is where our ATR trail and stop 50 EMA and a support area that I have marked. So that 138.14 area could be a strong support area for AMD. Again, not financial advice. However, if we break that, we could very well come back to 137.70, 137.23, 136.58. Losing that area, 135.54. Should we break through that level or lose that area of support, 134.15 could be a support area. And again, 133.81, breaking that 132.97. Those are possible support and resistance areas for AMD. Again, not financial advice. We are now looking at Meta. We closed at 712.20, and it looks like Meta is just going to keep climbing for us today. I have not finished charting that, so yeah, I can give support areas to the downside for Meta as of right now, considering we did break out of a zone here. I'm going to go ahead and mark that, so I definitely need to go back and do some more charting with that. Under, let's say, this level, we are 714.90 as been pre-market high. Losing that 5 EMA, 713.99, we can come back to 712.86. Breaking that level, we can come back to around 711.27. Should we break that, you see the ATR trailing stop is around the 710.91. Under that level, 709.62, and breaking that 708.27. Should we break that level, 706.48, and again 705.50. Under that, 703.51, 702.47. Those are possible support areas for Meta as of right now. I'm going to see, yes, just a move. Yes, Meta has come off of a 680 to a 714. Looks like we're continuing to the upside, so I definitely need to go back and rechart that one. So let's go see where we are today with NVDA. NVDA closed at 147.90, and as you can see, we have pre-market high 149.55. Looks like we're getting rejected at this area. We kind of knew we could possibly have trouble, right? 149.42. Now, should we break that area? Seems like I need to do a little bit more research with NVIDIA. Seems like we're making higher highs, right? I think the SPY is doing the exact same thing, so definitely need to go back and do some more charting with that. So let's back to the downside. Under the 148.98, we could very well have support 148.69, 148.10, 147.67, 147.34, 146.89, 146.49, 146.27, down to the 145.96, breaking that 145.80. Should we break that, the 200 EMA 145.62 could be a support area for us, y'all. So this is some of the things that I see when I look at the market. I definitely need to go back and do some more charting for NVIDIA and Meta. We do have a few inside day candles, GameStop being one of those. I found that interesting, right? So we have already broken through the trigger and the target. 23.33 was the trigger to the upside. Target was 23.34, and as you can see, we've made a pre-market high thus far at 23.45. Now to the downside, under 22.85, downside target for GameStop today 22.44. So if that is something that you trade today, I say trade carefully. Now I think Google is an inside day candle also, so we have broken through that trigger to the upside. 168.64 was the trigger, target to the upside 173.48. Now to the downside, let's say we break under that level of 162.65, we have a downside target today for Google around, let me see if I can make that, yes, around this area of 159.95. So if Google Alphabet Inc. is something that you trade, it is an inside day candle. Kroger is also an inside day candle today, above 73.72, upside target 74.11, to the downside under 72.21, downside target 71.61. So if KR is something that you trade, I say trade carefully. So MDLZ is also an inside day candle, and as you can see, we had a nice decline here at that, down to that 67. So to the upside, breaking above 68.62, upside target is 68.80. Now to the downside, under 67.92, we have a downside target of 67.79. So if MDLZ is something that you trade, I said trade carefully. NEE is also an inside day candle. If by chance we break above 71.60, upside target 72.32. Now to the downside, under $70.65, downside target $70.13. So if NEE is something that you trade, I say trade carefully, y'all. This is what I see when I look at the market, y'all. There's so many different ways to trade the market, and what's challenging at times is trying to figure out the best way that works best for you, and then having the discipline to execute your plan. I always say make sure you set your stop losses, or whatever it is that you choose to use, make sure you get in at the right time and out at the right time. So again, I hope that everyone have a very profitable and a very, very productive day today. If you could please like, share, comment, subscribe, y'all. We learn and we grow together. With that being said, be blessed as well as a blessing unto others. Until next time.